Hi guys, I hope you're all well. Guess what? I finally got a question. I got a question off my friend Steve, and he was asking me about a particular move from Shingy called Cat Washer's Face, and I think it was a question regarding the mechanics, and I started thinking about it because it's quite a complicated movement, and there's a lot going on. And I was thinking how I could explain this, and then I was sat having breakfast with my wife, and then we were having this conversation. We were kind of just chatting about the differences in things we'd done, and the subtleties of it. We started talking about the centre, so in my wife's system, what they talk about in their Swarupa Yoga, they talk about core release. And then you hear about a lot of other kind of things like sports or maybe Pilates or yoga. They'll talk about core strength. Then we got chatting and we were like, well, what's Tai Chi? And it's quite interesting because my wife's actually been doing a fair bit of Tai Chi and she's getting really good. So she's got this perspective from two different sides of things now, from a strong yoga background and actually doing quite a bit of Tai Chi. So we were chatting about it and we came up with that. Tai Chi, what's going on in Tai Chi with the centre, or what you would call the Dantien in Tai Chi, is that what we're doing is core expansion. So the centre is expanding to the outside. So it's not just expanding in the body, it's the expansion actually reaches the outside. So what I mean by that is because Tai Chi's a martial art, its origin, it's actively affecting someone on the outside. So the mind has to go to the outside for the projection of the amount of power or force that comes out. If it's a big projection, it kind of has a better effect. So this idea of expansion to the outside, or core expansion, I thought was quite interesting. Then I thought, oh right, that's the answer to what Steve was asking in a way, because without this part of Tai Chi, there's no engine. You've got like an empty shell. That's what makes it Tai Chi. You could have, if you had core strength, you could say, well, is it Pilates? Or if it was just core releases, it's Swarupa Yoga. But this unique way that Tai Chi works, and a lot of all the internal arts that I work on, I use this method with. It's very different. So what I thought I'd do is I'll demonstrate one movement that comes from my teacher, Wang Zishang, or better known as Dr. Wang. If you want to see someone doing it properly, look him up. Maybe I'll put a link, but this is kind of my version of how I'm working with it. So I'll get on with that right now. We'll have a look at it. So this is the basic movement. Feet, shoulders width apart, and I'll just demonstrate it a couple of times. Okay, so the body's opening. So we open the hip crease, the shoulder crease, the knee, the elbow, the wrists, the ankles. Then they just relax back down. The hip relaxes, shoulder relaxes, elbow, knee, ankles. Hip opens, shoulder opens, elbow opens, wrists open, and so on. So you have this expansion movement that's going on. That's working its way out. Hip open, shoulder open, knee open, elbow open, wrists open, ankles open, and up. So I'll just do a few more so you can see it. I'll exaggerate it a little bit more, just. Okay, so just a few important points with this. One is the entire body, everything is concentrated. Every cell in your body has to be in gear or concentrated. So what does concentrated mean? I could say connected. So connected usually means some kind of a contraction which already, locks things up. So concentrated means connected but continuous. I don't know, some of this you'll have to kind of figure out yourself, but that's how I was told, concentrated. So then what you do, you start opening the body, and some key points. One of the key is there's lots of key points, but I'll just mention a couple of them. One is you have to use the feet. The feet have to open, and as the feet opens, the hip inside the hip has to incrementally open, and at the same time, the head has to extend up, and this is how you get the extension. So when the hip opens, it has to be concentrated to everything as it's incrementally opening, and then the same with the head. So you want to push on the feet, open the hips, and then slowly extend the head. So regarding the feet, it's really important that when you use the feet, you kind of work across the toe area. Bear with me a minute. Okay. Good thing about being in the garage, you can always find something. So I've got Audrey's wellie here. So when I talk about the feet, there's a lot of expansion that goes on across the toes in this area, this part of the foot. And when you stood, you want very little weight, if any, on the heels. And then this makes you open the foot, which then tracks it back into the hips. So yeah, the point we're talking about working is across the toe, and we open it a bit like when you see like a cat kind of pawing out the floor. This is the feeling. And yeah, very little weight on the heels. So that was useful. So you're pushing on the foot, the hips opening incrementally, and you've got this extension lifting up in the head, and it actually continues past the head. You keep going with the extension, and you keep going below the ground too with this extension. And at the same time that you're doing this opening, you're concentrated, and it's the hip, elbow, wrists, the whole thing's opening and expanding and coming back to normal. So hip, shoulder, knee, elbow, wrist, then back, hip, shoulder, elbow, wrist. So you've got this order of 1, 2, 3, and the arm is doing the same thing. They're all kind of opening together and then closing together. So when this is happening, when I say expand, you're actually feeling the back's expanding, your back is expanding, the sides are expanding, everything is expanding. The legs, absolutely every bit is opening up and expanding, and every bit's concentrating. And then also, because Tai Chi is concentrated to the outside, as you're expanding, you have to feel like you can expand into the outside. The space all around the body has to expand. Then it concentrates. And it just concentrates back, not all the way back into the centre so it disappears. It'll concentrate eventually closer to the outside of the body, but not all the way back inside. So the expansion's from the inside through the body to the outside. And then this way, the posture has a big expression of energy. So yeah, this is really interesting. This is what's underpinning the movement. So, to get back to the question from Steve, it was about cat wash his face. So I'll demonstrate this movement. What I'll do, I'll demonstrate it, and I will not connect or concentrate any of the internal. Okay, so this is the movement, basically. I'm really relaxed. So it's really easy because I'm just so relaxed, but there's no engine, and there's no expansion. There's relaxedness and easy movement. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to concentrate the body, and I'm going to do the movement again. So now I'm in gear with this concentration. I'm only letting myself move from the concentration and expansion. So I'll give it another go. It takes me a few goes just to get it kind of working. But okay, I'll start. Okay. So you have to feel inside what you need to keep the movement working. And it's the concentration and the opening up of the body, opening and then concentrating, that gets the movement kind of working. So this is driving the movement. You can see the more you concentrate, I even get my hand to move further up the back. So, that's hard work. So when it's in gear, it's completely different. It's this is all the years I've studied martial arts, and I've tracked down, worked with high-level masters. There was something that they had. And they had this kind of openness. This was the one thing that they all had. So this basic exercise I showed earlier, with all of its faults, some of it wasn't perfect, as it always is the best way to, I think, get this in your practice first, put the engine in, and then try it with whatever you do. So hope that was helpful, and thanks for the question, Steve, and I'll catch up with you guys later. Bye.